And welcome back to the channel. Hi, Mr. Landfill. You might hear in the background what we in England call a lovely summer's day, but for the rest of the world it is flood conditions and pissing it down. You can't buy a nice summer's day at the minute. But, yeah, it's good to be back. Have a look at some fossils today and see what's what. I'm having a bit of a debate at the minute what I want to prep, because I don't know how long I will be prepping today. So I was trying to decide what I think will be fun. Having had the day off yesterday for my birthday, my wife and I had a quiet one, so yeah, it's nice to have just had a little bit of time without the young man who's been in daycare the whole time, so it's nice just to have a bit of peace. Right, so the choices at the minute are a deck. This one's from Zoic Bay, I believe. Might be from Holsker, but one of those two. There's another little one there, which we can either play with or not, or we go do something altogether different and venture out of the stuff that we picked up last week and have a look at something a bit different. And that's what I'm just deciding at the minute. Does anyone have any strong preferences? Because that might also help. And silence will always be taken as someone has a strong preference and just not willing to express it. Yeah, just trying to see if there's something a bit different, having done a few decks last week and a couple of Hildies, to see if there's something maybe a bit different. There's still work to be done on a few of the things. Saltwick, not Salt Lick, but yeah, it's one of the bays near Whitby. Which we can quite happily do. Just looking at the massive things in all the boxes that need work at some point. And there's a lot of things. Some good, some less good. Hey Katie, how are you today? You know what? I'm gonna go rogue. I'm gonna have another play with some more Middle-Lias stuff. And this is a minor spoiler because oh, number of the choices and you'll pick a number, right? So we could do some spoilers. Let's see. Right, I'm gonna just grab a few bits. Let's see if I got anything. Actually, yeah, let's do this. We've got four different species of ammonites. Right, so number one is a DAC. It's not a super exciting thing, I appreciate, but I think, as I said, there's a little one there. Number one from Saltwick. Number two, this is a spoiler alert for a video coming out on Saturday of something from Stades. This is Middle-Lias, so it's very similar to the things that you've seen me having a play with yesterday. These are, instead of being Pleuroceras and Amoroceras, these are, I think, Amaltheus. So there's one there, one there, one there, possibly something here. There was another one here. So there's lots of them in this, but it's always a bit interesting, shall we say. So that's number two. Number three is a Paranoceras from Holsker, and usually with these, the ribs lead to spines. The spines are nodes, and they're usually paired. So you don't tend to find them like this where they're offset. So you'd expect there to be a node there and another one here, but for some reason this one's got them sort of alternating on each side, which is interesting but different. So it's a bit pathological, which might make it a bit more interesting to have a look at and figure out where in the world that pathology happens, because it looks to be about there where it seems to change, or at least start changing. So a bit different. And the other one, which I have absolutely no idea what it's going to be like, is this one. So it's a Harpoceras, or part of a Harpoceras, which is this ammonite here. You can tell by the interesting ribs and the falcoid ribbing. Falcate ribbing. but I think it's a broken body chamber. So the animal lived in it at one point, but when they die, it ends up with it being a hollow chamber. What you get is other ammonites often washing into them. And so there's Eleganticeras, I believe, there might be some other species washed in amongst them. So there'll be presumably more in here. And from the section, there are definitely at least parts of others, but what's in here is uncertain. So that's the other one, and every once in a while you might find something else like crustaceans or anything, but that would be a surprise. And the only reason I say that is because I was playing through the boxes. We're not prepping this one, but I was playing through the boxes and found this little crustacean that I had not seen in a long time, also from Robin Hood's Bay, probably from a couple of years back now, but it's a claw here. That's quite distinctly a claw, and lots of other little bits that go back, and so I'm thinking about crustaceans, which is why I mentioned them, but not because I'm expecting to run into any. And we are not prepping that one because I do not have the skills at present to even attempt it. So, yeah, have a vote if you want. 1 for Dak, 2 for Middleias, 3 for Perinoceras, 4 for Harpoceras / Ellis. I also am going to have to change my chat to live chat in case people are putting stuff that we're not going to see. There we go. 3, 2. This is going to be really unhelpful that we're going to end up with a split vote. 3, 3. So it's going to be the Perinoceras by the looks of it, just in case, unless anyone else has got another one, but a vote of 2 to 1. That's what we're going to end up with. So yeah, we'll start on the Perinoceras. There's not an outrageous chance that we get through at least one side of it today, and so we can then do the Middleias stuff if that still tickles people's fancy for later. But yeah, as I keep hinting at, this video that shows me finding this one comes out on Saturday. It's a fun one actually. It's quite long, but it was a fun adventure. And it's not long necessarily because we find a lot, but there is a lot of stuff, but not much that could come home, unfortunately. But I will spoil it with some starfish, some fossil fish, all sorts of goodies. Yeah, it was fun adventure. But yeah, right, let's have a look, see what we've got. Need to change the tip off of the end because I've got the wrong one on. I don't have a preference. I just wanted to mix it up a bit because I've done quite a lot of Daks and Hildies, so it just was seeing if anyone else had a preference. I do not mind. I also don't know how long we're going to be doing this. We'll see how long the will lasts because yeah, sitting in the shed when it's still a bit chilly out is not enthusing me greatly, but I'm sure that will all change as we start exposing some cool fossils. So, yeah. Just doing one final check to make sure I've not missed anything obvious on this one, but doesn't look like it. So expected mouth border, it looks like it might just be there already. It whirls in on this side, so it's going to be, I'm going to prep this side, so it's going to come in here and get smaller and smaller this way around. We will hope that center is there. My pens are all going a bit blunt. Yeah, not a Dak there, Liam. This one is my wonky Perinoceras from Hosker, where it's got its nodes offset from each other. So that's what we will be playing with just today, at least to start with, and then we may have a look at some Amaltheus from Stades in a little bit. Yeah. Let's make sure I remember to do all the things I'm supposed to do, meet you, and then let's get started. Just thought I'd ask actually, Liam, have you been over and had a look at what they're up to at Zoic yet? And seen if they've actually started, or is all the rain delayed progress? Does anyone know? Yeah, no worries. I just was wondering. It's yeah. So for those who don't know, who aren't local, Saltwick Bay is one of our easy to get down locations normally, so it's very popular with a lot of people to get down. It's one of the first places most people learn to fossil hunt on the Yorkshire coast. But they've had a lot of use down the access point, and a lot of rain across the winter meant that the steps have all got a bit damaged and are not really fit for purpose with all of the kids and everything using the path. So it's currently closed and getting rebuilt by the North Yorkshire Moors park people, I believe it is. And so it's it's impacting a lot of people trying to get fossil hunting down there. Although I'm sure there's still going to be people heading down and getting in the way. But yeah, just curious where they're at, and yeah, hoping that no one really interrupts the redevelopment of it. Because if they do a job like they did at Port Mulgrave, those will be some tidy steps. So I live in hope. Oh, sorry, unmuted just before I turned off the compressor, which is busy running in the background. Currently prepping a Paranoceros. You can always tell Paranoceros, or at least the relatives of Paranoceros, because they have the spines on them. This one's interesting because instead of having paired spines, which run pretty much straight across the keel, so there's one here. You'd expect one on this spot, but they're not there. They're slightly offset, so they're kind of zigzag across, which is a bit unusual. So far it's going okay. If you're hearing all of the rain in the background, it is just the way it is. It's actually bloody cold for a what we had, 11th of June in in England here. It's pissing it down. But yeah, it's the next world's just coming out there, so we're just slowly getting down into it. But so far so good. We're going to lose some, if not, well, we'll probably lose some of the ribs just because they like shearing and shattering as things go. But hopefully the calcite underneath it is all in good shape. So we'll see. But yeah, it's going okay. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I'd mind the weather as much if it was actually just warm. But yeah, it's not even warm. It's what, with 13 degrees C or something, 12 degrees C, which is what, 50-ish Fahrenheit. So it's very cold for a yeah, a June day. I'm just going to also take a chance and close my door on the shed and see if I don't lose all of my frames. But if I do, I'll reopen the door. So bear with us. If it starts to get a bit choppy, I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, actually, no joke, Liam. Is like part of the reason I'm so cold, I think, is I am that soggy from just walking from my house into my shed. It's silly. Yeah, and as you say, thankfully no thunder today. We've got a big cold front effectively going across the country at the minute, or a wave of it. So I fear you guys on the coast are going to be getting it for another couple hours, whereas I'm hoping ours is going to finish up in the next hour or so. And Katie, you might be lucky enough that it might already be done, but it is still chucking it here, and I imagine it will be for a while longer yet everywhere else. Yeah, just to show you how annoying it gets when it's this cold. as I start steaming up the box, and then it makes it very tricky, as you might gather, to have a look at a fossil whilst you've got condensation from all the cold. Need to get a heater in here, but as I said, it's June. Who would expect that we needed a heater in the middle of June? Oh dear. Yeah, hey Finn. Welcome to a very soggy day in England where we just discuss weather as per usual, whilst we're working on a Paranoceros, which is going slowly. not excited to doing another round of rib cleaning down here, but it's going slowly, working down to the middle bit by bit. So we've got outer whorl coming around, just tracking it into the next one now. Being a Paranoceros, it's got at least nodes all the way around. This one's an interesting one because the nodes are offset, as everyone has heard a couple of times now. But we'll see as we go down if there's any of the spines that might be preserved on any of the bits inside, and we'll try and keep those if we can. Yeah, I hope everyone is well. We could start playing this silly please keep talking to each other game of, is everyone excited for this second most important World Cup just about to kick off later today? And then when I say second most important kicking off, it's not second most important that kicks off today, but just the second most important World Cup. The Rugby World Cup. Rugby Union World Cup is more important. Controversial takes. Well, so I wish you luck with that, Finn. Harpos, I reckon, are always worth trying to save if possible. The one that we tried to save on stream is currently off with Sean, who I'm hoping is going to rescue that even further, because we had a bit of a discussion about how tricky the middles are. Actually, Liam, who was in chat, I don't know if he still is, was also saying how much of a challenge the middles are. I got it to a point that I couldn't take it any further, so it went to Sean for him to see if he can make it as good as it should be, because I do love a good harpo, and nice if you've got one that's a double as well. It's definitely worth trying to salvage them, I reckon. Kind of that opinion for most ammonites that aren't just a DAC, and I also caveat that with, when I say just a DAC, I would still save as many of those as I can, but I am less fussed if one of those breaks than I am for a lot of the other species. Finn, I would love to say I have a great solution for you, but you guys all saw me struggle with a Harpo Live. They are not easy. I have a lot of respect for the prep guys, but I do know a lot of it is their experience, but also having the right tools. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Landfill, that you are in that much pain. I am told that they rank up there as one of the worst pains that you will endeavour. So I hope it's one of the rounded ones and not one of the spiny ones, because yeah, do not envy you at all. And so I hope it is not difficult, and I hope that you can get some meds to make your life a little easier. I will apologise to Finn that I did just laugh at your comment about the Maya being with you at 8 months. I mean, I bought mine when it was pretty much fresh out. I was eyeing up the starter kit with the old what was it, the Chicago that Zoic used to do, the modified version of that, and it just brought out the Maya when I bought mine. And yeah, that was still a 3-month wait list, and I know Katie was like a month or two later than me buying it. It took hers another few months additionally on top of the delay of ordering it for hers to show up, with that wait list getting longer and longer and longer. But honestly, it's great pen, so I hope it does make your life a little easier. Mr. Landfill, as I said, sorry that we cannot help from here. You would not want me anywhere near you with this pen. It will it would make your time a lot worse. That I can guarantee. And interestingly, the kidney stone thing is one of the several things that men are much worse at dealing with, and there's a suggestion that men don't have as high a pain tolerance, and I'm sure there's plenty of women who will attest to that. But also, if you're passing it from bladder out, we have longer urethras, and therefore it has to pass through a much longer system, and so you get doubly unlucky there. And again, my condolences that you're suffering it. I hope it goes as well and as quickly and as relatively pain-free as it can be done. But yeah, sorry again. Ooh, now that is a good question. Favorite one I've prepped personally is one of my little Peronoceroses that I did quite a while back. Now you're going to put me on the spot to see if I can find the thing. And I have my doubts if I'm going to have a picture on this setup, or at least without absolutely collapsing my entire system. But we will see quickly if I do. So why I really like it is because it just happened to be one of those lucky ones where the matrix fell away and the spines on the Peronoceros were pretty much perfect. And I do not know if I have it on here. No, I do not have it on this computer, so you'll have to have a bit of fun looking through my socials. Let me just see if I can find it on my Insta, and then I can link that and you can all have a look-see, as long as it doesn't take you away from the stream. But yeah, it's one of those preps that, as I said, I take no real credit for it. It came out a treat with very little skill, and that is probably the reason I love it so much, because life is a lot easier when I like that. Copy link. That one. Assuming that's all going to behave, because I had to do that through my phone. So let's hope that that's behaved, and it's not collapsed my stream and all of those other good things. Yeah, so that seems to have behaved itself. But yeah, honestly, it's my favorite one I've done. Weirdly enough, right when I was still learning how to do stuff, so I definitely wasn't as, I'm going to say, skilled as I am now, and I still accept that I am still very much learning. But yeah, it's one of the deep body Peronoceros with everything about it is just perfect as far as it could have been done. And it's one of those that also has that charm of being one that you would normally not pick up, because the outer edge was just shot and it's all rubbish and horrible and horribly worn. And then yeah, just remove that cap and the whole cap kind of crumbled off. The spines were all perfect, and ever since this one, actually, I've been a few more times to Ravenscar and picked up several more of those scrappy looking ones, because for one reason or another they're actually in a lot better condition in the middle than I've seen from any of the other locations. Even like the really manky ones, if you find them there at Ravenscar, the deep body Tyrannosaurus preserve really well for whatever reason. And yeah, highly recommend if you're down there and you're picking up some of those shoddy bits. They're worth keeping hold of and prepping properly, rather than just smacking them with a hammer or chisel, because some of their spines are superb. So now we're back to this Tyrannosaurus, which is going okay, although it's starting to look like some of this shell might be a bit scrappy again, but we're getting there. But yeah, I can actually talk to you about one of the things I find hardest at the minute still, as part of my experience is, let's not pretend that it's perfect, and I'm not going to, but you can see hopefully here there's some ribs that are slightly raised, and then you can see here that the ribs are gone. And this is the bit I still struggle with most, is because the original shell, the ribs are actually really quite tall on a lot of these specimens, and you usually find them first as you're prepping down. You see the little white line as you basically clip them with the pen, and so you'll see even up here where you just removing the matrix, I sometimes clip them. but then if you get a bit further down, the matrix pops, but when it pops, it takes the shell with it. And it's the thing I still struggle with most, is trying to get the appropriate balance right. And I don't claim that there is one, but I would like to keep the shell on, but it takes so much longer to try and keep the shell on, and you still lose it 90% of the time. And I think that's part of the reason I really like the other one as well, is because the shell stayed on and didn't require anything, it all just came away cleanly. But it's the thing I still really struggle with, is because also when you ding the shell, it has that nice white marks like this, where the spines break or whatever else. So it's a great example there, and there you can see that white calcite comes through. But usually if you're prepping and the shell just pops off, like it often does as you get further down, that white calcite disappears and you're like, what's the right way to do it? And it's one of the things I still struggle with, and I think I will always struggle with trying to know what's the appropriate level, and what's sort of expected, or what should you realistically aim for. And obviously the goal would always be that you keep all of the shell, you keep all the spines, everything perfect, which is also probably not realistic on anything that you have to prep with an air pen. Even with like the finest tools, you will probably still lose an awful lot of them, just because the matrix is so darn hard. And it's not like some of the stuff you get down on the south coast, where you can basically iron powder it from the start all the way to the finish, and it doesn't damage the ammonite, or doesn't really damage the ammonite, but it completely removes all of the matrix with next to no effort. So yeah, it's something that I think I will always struggle, is trying to get that balance right of like speed, keeping the shell on, getting the patience level right. I just don't know. And yeah, it's something that is always on my mind, and yeah, especially when I'm prepping these things, and I know I'm going to ding the shells just because I'm trying to remove the matrix between all the ribs, and when the ribs start getting really close together, as you've seen with me trying to faff about with some of the deck from the grey shells, it's really difficult to decide what is the appropriate level to try and aim for, what the realistic level. And yeah. I might even just be able to show you an example as it happens live. So I've been prepping down on this little tiny bit right here, and this bit's just coming away now, and so I'm going to lose this little bit of ribbing and this little bit of ribbing probably, but does it matter? And the answer is probably, for most people, they'll never care and never notice. But I'm sat looking at it under magnification. It's a lot easier to see when it's going right or wrong. And I say wrong, like there's a definitive way to do it, but it feels wrong, at least to me. But yeah, as it said, it's probably the one thing I struggle with more than anything else, is like it's the accepting of what's going to break as part of the prep and still look fine, and no one will care. I should ask, did anyone get to the Yorkshire Fossil Fest this year? I only ask because it popped up in one of my memories on Facebook from like 3 years back when I was last at the one in Whitby. So I was just curious if anyone went. How'd it go? Was it interesting? Yeah, I have to say the Yorkshire Fossil Fest is a nice change of pace and size relative to the Dorset one, the Lyme Regis one. But that being said, the Lyme Regis one is always fascinating. It's the joy of it being bigger, is they do have a lot of interesting speakers that come down and do talks, and a lot of cool bits get shown off. In fact, one of my projects that I started whilst I was in academia started because I got down to the Fossil Fest at Lyme Regis one year, and Southampton had just got a brand new shiny big CT scanner, and the what is now called the Weymouth Bay Plus, or the one that's on display in Dorchester, they had scanned that one to basically see what they could see to test their scanner out, and so we got free scans from that because I spoke nicely to someone at the Fossil Fest. And it started up a whole project that then went on to be someone's master's project, and the person who did that is now off high flying in academia. So it's one of my proudest academic things was it's all stemmed because we were down there for an outreach event through Bristol University as part of the Bristol Dinosaur Project. We were down there, and then it's funny how things happen like that. Sometimes you're there for one thing, and who knows what you might discover. But yeah, I have to say, I would not want to be down on the beaches this time of year down in Lyme and Charmouth. It would be very, very busy, and so yeah, you are escaping at a good time by the looks of it.
see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky in your mind.
Yeah, so the festivals are fabulous places. Nearly all of the sciencey festivals are worth going to, especially the free ones. They're usually set up where you do have all the experts who are incredibly passionate about what they're doing, getting to share their passion about whatever specific aspect of their projects or the bigger project that they are helping out with is doing. And it's a great place to go, see people, talk to people, find out what's going on, have a day out with friends, family, kids, all of the rest. They're worth doing. Which is why I was curious if anyone had done the Yorkshire one, because I know they're on the very scaled down or scaled back versions from the level we did see with the one like 3 years ago in Whitby. I think was the last particularly big one. Although I didn't. Oh, actually saying that, I think there might have been a red car one the following year, and then we haven't had a big one really, because it combined with the kite festival and some other activities. So yeah, I was just always curious to hear how they're doing here, and I mean, always got a slightly vested interest being one of the fossil tour guys now on the coast here. So it's nice just to know what level of enthusiasm people are having. Yeah, I think. Well, let me rephrase this, Shirley. But we started at what, just after 1:10-ish, so we've been doing an hour 30. We're pretty much down to mid. There's a little bit left to go. But yeah, everything has been speeding up, and that's kind of what you would hope. So the last couple of streams we've done 3-ish ammonites per stream. So we're aiming like one every hour. Hildy's taking like a fraction of that time, but they've also still got finishing to do. So yeah, I mean, I would be ideally aiming to do something of this level of difficulty, like a relatively common ammonite of a relatively normal size. Ideally within 2 hours from start to finish. So we're probably on more or less that pace. We're a bit slower than that because it's still, obviously, when I do all of the bit that I'm doing now, there's still the finishing, polishing, making it look appropriately tidy, but they are going a lot quicker than they were even a month ago, and that's kind of ideal. It's interesting, just I can feel the difference now when I'm prepping, when things pop and don't need me to push as hard, and it's just getting to grips with everything appropriately. So that's quite nice. I've ordered a couple more bright LEDs, not, well, yeah, they're LED, but LED strip lights for the box as well, to hopefully get the lighting a bit better. So I can hopefully do an even better job with slightly better lighting in the box as well. And hopefully everything just keeps speeding up. Because yeah, as I said, for the long-term goal is that I can prep my own material, everything. The realistic short-term goal is that this summer I can start prepping Dax and Perinoceros and Hildes and Pseudos to a suitable level that any guests on tours could get me to do the common things for them at a much reduced price relative to the pros, like Sean's charging 25, which is very cheap still for the quality of work, but I'd be looking at like £10 to £15 an hour, sort of the stuff that I'd sit here and do, and so it might take me 2 to 3 hours to do something that would take Sean an hour, but you'd still save money, is the logic. But I'd still encourage everyone who got rare things to send them to the suitable people. So I'm going to keep mentioning Sean. Sean's my prep guy. He's the one that I send stuff to. Other people obviously prep at different prices. The Whitby Fossil Shop has Marcus Cliff, who does their prep work. There's Mark Hawkes at Stone Treasures down in Sherwood Forest, and there's undoubtedly many others that do prep. So your mileage may vary, but that's the long-term goal. And so as things speed up with me doing more of it, which is what the streams are for, it then allows me to actually offer a service that I feel comfortable offering. I'm still scared senseless about damaging other people's stuff, but that will be part of it, and that's why I'm doing as much as I am now. And so yeah, hopefully it all keeps speeding up. Hopefully the quality keeps going up. I've still got a lot of work to do on the finishing, and so tomorrow may actually just be a finishing stream, and we'll sit and go through all the ones that we've done this week and try and actually get them done, because I keep saying that I'll do them off stream. The middles I may well do off stream, but the removing the last bits of matrix, the grinding things down, just getting them to a finished state, I think that might happen tomorrow, but obviously we'll see how it goes. Yeah, very kind of you to say, surely. There is definitely progression. I feel more comfortable doing it, and it's just one of those things, isn't it? That there's the statement that it's like 10,000 hours to become an expert in a sport or an activity. So why would it not be the same in this? That the more you do it, the better you get. In theory, as long as you're sort of reflecting on what you're doing and adjusting your actions based on the results. And I think it's important to show the good and the bad. It goes down to pretty much mid. There's a few more dings than we might like, but I think most of them will polish out or buff out. The way that I've seen people doing tests for it is you basically blow hot air on them, like out of your mouth, and you know that the damp moisture from your air as you breathe out can give you a good indication of what's going to look like when it's all polished up and tidied up. So whether you know your dings are nasty or not, and as long as they aren't still highly visible after you've breathed out on them, there's probably a good chance that they will tidy up or cover up when you put some varnish on them. But yeah, we're getting there. I'm not super happy with the lines still around the edges. Some of that will tidy up as we go along. Some of that may not, but it also is a challenge because there should be spines through a lot of this because it's Perrinoceros, and every once in a while as I'm trying to tidy that line, you then ding another spine. It's very frustrating. It's part of the challenge of a Perrinoceros, and yeah, obviously you can spend 10,000 hours doing DAX, but then learning or adjusting your prep for something that then has spines that fill in all the grooves, which is the bit you normally clean to help make your life easier. Yeah, it's just different. Each ammonite has their own quirks. Perrinoceros tend to be pretty sticky in general, so they are challenging. And then yeah, we're gonna have some fun cleaning down through ribs. I think today will probably just end up being this one, but we'll see. We'll see how far I get in the next sort of 30 minutes or so, because yeah, if I can at least get this perimeter in the middle all cleaned and some of these ribs, then yeah, that might be not a bad spot to leave it, and then try and finish this tomorrow on stream with some of the other ammonites from this week. But yeah, it's very tedious to clean each of these individual ribs because you're having to go really slowly to try not to take to take the matrix whilst at the same time not taking the ribs out. But yeah. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Landfill, for reminding people. I know I'm probably under this side an awful lot at the minute, and that's just where the magnification is. Yeah, busy having to try and do stuff under high power magnification to figure out all these little teeny tiny gaps and grooves in between the ribs to try and do as much matrix removal as I can. But unfortunately, that does mean that it's a bit of a challenge sometimes to keep it in shot whilst trying to do the detailed magnification stuff. In Dream World, I imagine you'd need your, I don't know, your smart glasses or something that with the camera sat right in between my eyes so you could see what I'm looking at, which would probably help. But I am not giving my money to some of those companies. At least not whilst the current challenges, shall we say, of the recording and yeah, continue. But yeah, unfortunately that's just a side effect, is I'm just going to be wandering off the bottom of the screen, but I will try and keep you in shot where I can, and I will try and zoom you back into to shot when I have a minute to think and to focus. Sorry, lots of boring stuff now, but I've managed to tidy at least partly between all of the little spines that come around here. Some with more success than others. You can still see where there's like grey, which is matrix, and there's some bits which have got a lot more grey than others still, that still need a bit of a look at. But we'll get there. And then it's trying to clean between the ribs, and some bits clean alright. Like this section here is mostly mudstones and shale, so that's soft and pops off generally okay, but it still involves a little bit of the tip to persuade it to come free, whereas some bits up here are very pyritic and not coming away so well. But yeah, we'll just go working around and get down to here, and then have a look, see, give it a rinse off maybe. Oops, sorry, out of focus. Give it a rinse off and see where we're at. But yeah, if we can just get all the ribbing at least exposed, and then I think we'll be pretty close to at least a good stopping point for today. But that's still going to be 30 minutes of work, I imagine. Yeah, Liam, I'm pretty pleased with how it's come on. It's very tedious, this bit, as you know. It's cleaning all the gaps between the ribs. If I had an abrasive system, it would just be a quick spritz to just knock all the shale out. But I do not have one of those, so it's all very slow and steady with the pen. But we're getting there. I'm getting there very, very slowly. But yeah. So I said, hopefully 30 more minutes or so, and then we can put it down and just mark it up as one that just needs mouth border and matrix smoothing. But inevitably there's a lot of extra ribbing down here that needs to have a consideration, but that might be another day's job. Right. That might just be enough for today. It's cleaned reasonably well. It is not my favourite thing to do, is cleaning shale from between ribs. It is slow going and hard work, and as you can see, I have not even attempted to do the vento, so the, what most people would call the keel, the midline ridge. But it's taken a long time just to get to this point, and yeah, the eyes are getting tired and the hand is getting tired. And so that might just be where we call it quits for today. But yeah, I'm not upset with it. It's got a bit more work to be done, but you can see hopefully the nodes running around the whorls still visible, at least for a bit. They disappear through a combination of prep and them getting smaller. The middle's not bad, and yeah, some work to do just to tidy mouth border, but that also has work to be done with ribs as well on this side, so those may all get done at the same time. But then I guess I pose the question to you guys, because what I am planning to do, or what I'm thinking I should do tomorrow, is finish off all the ones that we've been working on this week. So things like this one need to be done. There's no point just leaving it like this. It's not finished. It can't be sold as is. Well, yes, it could, but it wouldn't be worth selling as is. But to make this smooth, get the mouth border carved out appropriately, get all the keels tidied, and I've got things we've done this week. Let's just go through them all. Hang on. I might even need to zoom out, because there'll be a few bits here of things we've done this week. Alright, so I think I'm going to ignore this one, because this one is so teeny tiny, it doesn't need any more doing to it. But other than that one, that's where I think we are for this week's stuff. Yeah, I think that's what we did this week. They all need finishing, because I have not done it. A few of them need the middles being tidied, but I will try and do that prior to the stream. And then it's just trying to make them look pretty. This one, which is the middle last one from yesterday with its little amoroceros, it's the wrong way around, and it's bivalve. Still connected but open but broken. May just get put to a side just once I figure out what the heck I want to do with it, because I still don't know what I want to do with it. But those ones all need to finish. 2 Hildies, 2 I'll say normal decks, a little deck with a double, a grey shales deck, and a Paranoceros, which... Oh no, so I say 2 normal decks. 1 normal deck, 1 Paranoceros, 1 double deck, yeah, grey shales, and 2 Hildies. Yeah, get them all squared away, so that they can go on the website, and that'd be nice, just I think as a way to go, here's all the stuff that found last week, prep this week, website next week. That's, I think, a good setup. If people would rather watch me prep, or at least rough prep, another ammonite, we can do that as well. I have no particular preference. I'm quite happy to do that as well, because all the preps are nice for me, just to spend a few hours chilling, chatting to you guys, and improving my skills. But I think for my business it would make sense to finish things, but equally you guys are part of my business watching this, so if you have strong preferences, let me know. Now is a good time, or comment on the video when it comes out, and I will obviously read them. Yeah, it's going to wrap us up for now. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for the chat. Mr. Landfeld, hope you are feeling better tomorrow, and I hope, where was it? It was it. Finn has some fun with his harpos, and So yeah, cheers everyone, and Lesher, good to see you again, sneaking in here just as I say cheerio, or at least sneaking into chat as I say cheerio. But thanks all, be safe, look after yourselves, look after each other, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.